These new Pokemon Champion updates are starting to look a little bit interesting. So hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the video. Today, we're going to be looking at everything added, deleted, changed, new megas for Pokemon Champions. As you guys know, this game releases on April 8th, so we're just under a week away. If you guys enjoyed this video or enjoy this style of video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new, but let's go ahead and get straight into it. So number one, the biggest part that you probably clicked on this video for are new megas. Are new megas coming to Pokemon Champions? Kinda. So because this is not like a normal Pokemon game in the sense that it's not like an adventure story game, we're not getting like new Pokemon megas, but we are getting new abilities for said megas. So on screen right now, you'll see Mega Meganium, Mega Feraligatr, Mega Emboar, all that stuff from Legends ZA. And I'm going to talk to you guys real fast about what those abilities are. So first up, we're going to talk about Mega Meganium. So Mega Meganium has a new ability called Mega Soul. And what it does is, it lets Meganium's moves be treated as if they're always in harsh sunlight. You're probably like, well, why does that matter? Well, there's a couple of things that are kind of a big deal. Meganium is a special attacker, but when it normally attacks, it sucks. However, with Mega Meganium's stat spread, it's a really strong attacker. And if there's harsh sunlight at all times, it does not have to waste a turn using Sunny Day, meaning that it can use a straight solar beam every single turn for as long as it has PP for the move. That makes Meganium from being a meh attacker because its moves were meh to insanely powerful. Meganium, with the Mega variant, is officially one of the strongest starters of all time. For all my Mega Meganium fans out there, can I get a Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? Why the hell would you say that? Mega Feraligatr, on the other hand, got Dragon Eyes, which is kind of terrible, I'm not gonna lie. It turns normal type moves into Dragon type and increases their power by 20%, which I mean is good. But also at the same time, with the exception of like Giga Impact, there's not really going to be a lot of great moves for Feraligatr to take advantage of. I mean, for example, Hyper Beam is a special move, and Mega Feraligatr's special attack is meh in comparison to its physical. Mega Feraligatr got the shorter end of the stick when it came to the overall ending up abilities of these Pokemon, but Mega Emboar has an interesting case. Mega Emboar has Mold Breaker, which bypasses enemy abilities that might cause an attack to miss or be nullified. This is good if a Pokemon raises their evasion, but it's never going to be anybody's first pick. By far, Mega Meganium definitely got the best ability here, but I'm not here to waste your time or drag on this video about the same thing. So let's go ahead and move on to the next part. So here's something that you probably haven't heard because this is brand new. IVs are gone. They're gone. They're in North Dakota. We are in Florida. They're not here. Where are you, North Dakota? Because I don't see you nearby. IVs are out of here. Now, they're not technically like gone, because they're going to come back in the next games, but they are gone in the terms of this battle machine game, whatever the hell you want to call it. The Pokemon now are entirely dependent on their overall stats, which I guess actually makes sense because there's not really a sense in putting IVs on Pokemon when they're kind of just predetermined and only really used for battling. So I guess that kind of makes sense. In my opinion, if you really care, I think the removal of IVs kind of makes sense in this game because when you catch a random Pokemon and you get a random set of IVs, and then obviously there's a bunch of different things you can do to raise IVs in certain games. If I just go catch a Pikachu in Pokemon Diamond and its IVs are absolutely terrible, it wouldn't be fair for somebody to also find a Pikachu in Pokemon Champions and it'd just be better than mine in every single way. So the removal of IVs is an interesting case, but we're going to go ahead and move out of that because there's not really much more to say. All of the stats are pretty much predetermined at this point and we know what they are, which makes the battles more fair. But now we're going to talk about the battle modes, and this is very important. There are 3 types of battle modes: ranked battles, casual battles, and private battles. I was kind of hoping for more. I like randomness, so I guess I'll have to see how they do it. I like to see modes inside of other modes, and what I mean by that is if I select a mode, I want to see different ways I can play it. So maybe like give me an entirely random team like on Pokemon Showdown, or give me a monotype team like on Pokemon Showdown. Do you see what I like that I hope they take inspiration from? But anyway, these 3 battles are going to be pretty interesting. The rank system is obviously going to have a ranking, so there'll be a whole leaderboard for players to climb up and see how strong they can get. Casual battles are just going to be all for fun, but there's probably going to be some toxicity with people leaving if they're losing, and private battles are just going to be with you and your friends. I like these 3, but as I mentioned earlier, I'd kind of like a couple more. My personal idea is, what if they do like a 64-person tournament? They do matchmaking for skill-based, I guess, and they get like 64 people, they make seeds, and it goes up to the top, just like the Indigo League, just like all the animes and Pokemon. I think it'd be super cool to have a massive tournament. If you guys think tournaments would be cool, let me know in the comments below. All right, so now we're gonna, oh, that was loud. We're gonna talk about how many Pokemon are gonna be in this game, and the answer is 2. It's gonna be Empoleon and Ugly Empoleon. No, I'm just kidding. All right, here's the actual deal. So there's gonna be about 500 Pokemon in Pokemon Champions. I hate this. I really do. I'm not one of the people that are like, Dex it, bring back the national Dex. I don't really care about that. I more so want the games to be good. But when it comes to Pokemon Champions, I believe every single Pokemon should be represented. Why? Because I feel like it kind of makes it unfair. If we're talking about the natural story story, progressing games, there's 1,000 Pokemon. There's a lot to put in the wild areas. There's a lot to put everywhere. I get that. But where I have a problem with Pokemon Champions is you can't take out Pokemon that I've used competitively before that are not in this game. That makes it a little bit unfair for the people that are a little bit more used to knowing how to do this, which is why I don't intend on spending a lot of time on the game. Obviously, you can bet on all the starters are going to be there with all of their Mega Evolutions respectively. You can expect that a lot of Gen 9 Pokemon will be there. Pretty much everything from Legends EA, Sword and Shield, all of the Switch-based games where they already have some models for it will probably be there. The very few that aren't, I don't really know what to tell you. I'd heavily doubt that they would be there. All right, now we're going to talk about Pokemon Home, which is obviously like a very hot button issue. Unfortunately, any Pokemon that you get in Pokemon Champions cannot be transferred to Home. And I get this because it would make an unfair advantage in the games, but at the same time, it kind of sucks if you get like really in love with a certain team. Vice versa though, you may not send any Pokemon from Pokemon Home that are not present in Champions. Any training that you do from the Pokemon at Home when you send them to Champions will not reflect how they will be when you send them back. So don't expect that you can just make your Mewtwo absolutely incredible and think that it's going to stay like that. All right, now we're going to talk about the new characters. We got Totoro, Caraway, Kit, Cordy, and Kojima. I don't know who any of these people are, but you see them on screens. They're pretty cool. I expect that there's going to be a little bit of a story in this game, but I don't think there's going to be very much. I mean, I hope there is. I'd love there to be like a small little campaign, but I heavily doubt it. They're working on Winds and Waves, so I don't think they're going to have a big old campaign for Champions. All right, two more things. Next up, we're going to talk about shiny Pokemon. So if you're like me and you're sick sometimes, you like to catch shinies while you're sick. Or maybe you just like to catch them when you're not sick. With shiny Pokemon, there will not be any in this game. I believe you can transfer your shinies from home to the game, but don't quote me on that. I'm just pretty sure based on the research I was doing, but there will not be shinies available to get in the game. I guess that makes sense. There's not really a point to do that if they're just predetermined teams. However, if you want to show off one of your shinies that you caught, go for it. And lastly is VP, which is Victory Point. It is the in-game currency for the game. It allows players to purchase all of their products. You get them from winning ranked battles, but you cannot purchase them with microtransactions, which I guess I like because microtransactions suck. But anyway, using that VP that you earn from those ranked battles, you can recruit Pokemon. So you can recruit them for a day or a week or permanently, and they're super cool. So say there's like a Politoed that's just in the ranch for the week, and you're like, oh, I need that Politoed with that Drizzle. You can recruit it after you do some ranked battles. I think it's a smart way to keep players on their system without making it pay to win. But anyway, that's all the news for Pokemon Champions right now. You know, good and well, April 8th, I will be right here playing the game. Video probably up that April 9th or 10th. I appreciate every single one of you guys. My birthday is April 7th, so if you want to wish me a happy birthday, please do. I get sad. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.